Good morning, everybody. I'm Dave with Nelson Creek Farms, where it's a beautiful but cold 29 degrees this morning here in southern Idaho on April 14th. Yeah, it's a good Friday. Anyway, what we're going to be doing in this video is getting that field that you can see behind me planted into some pasture grass. Yeah, so we're going to have to do a little bit of moving and housekeeping to get to the green drill to get that stuff in the ground. Well, first thing up today, we got to fire up Stinky right here, get it out of here, and get it hooked up to the John Deere 50. And we're going to get it pulled out of here and put it in the line to be sold. Because in behind it is the green drill, and I need that out of here so I can put that in here where these two are. Yeah. Well, first thing we got to do is get Stinky fired up so we can get this John Deere pulled out of here. Let's see if we can't get her to start. Yay. And hey, maybe I shut the gas off instead of turning it on. That would be about par normal. Yep. Shut the gas off instead of on. I'd forgotten and left it on. Okay, let's try this again. There we go. Much better. So what I have done is I've attached the chain around the forks on either side of the single front wheel there, and attached the chain or looped it through the bumper on the front end of Stinky. Wrapping that chain around that way should give me some form of control of steering for the John Deere 50. Yeah, we're getting it. Okay, that tractor's following along fairly nicely now. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and roll the old girl on out to the show area. Now we have access to the old case green drill, and we'll get that little quarter drum out of the way, and we'll drag that out and hook it onto the back end of the Farmall H or something. We'll have to see how the weather goes, and get some seed in the ground. We had to lower down the jack to lower the front of this thing so I could get the John Deere 50 rear end over this drawbar. So we'll jack this up here right quick and attach it to that front drawbar. That front drawbar has come in more handy than anything else I think we've got here on the farm other than the tractor it's attached to. We'll have to put some grease in this jack and lube up the green drill before we go to use it. Yeah, that should be about high enough. Yeah. That pin's a little bit small for this particular application. It's actually a lawnmower pin. But for what I'm doing with this, of just getting this out of the shed, that'll do fine. I've had more than a few people interested in this little case grain drill for doing feed plots for deer and whatnot. Well, if this thing will work to plant that pasture grass, I'm not going to be trading it off anytime soon. This is what we used several years ago when we planted all the winter wheat that we thrashed when we actually had a thrashing day out here. It was this particular grain drill right here. Oh, I'd forgotten that I had placed the batteries down in the basement of the house for the winter for both the Farmall H and the Super M. So we're going to end up having to use the new LS to run the grain drill. And that leads me to the next dad joke. Yeah. How did Burger King get the Dairy Queen pregnant? Any ideas? He forgot to wrap his Whopper. Well, let's see how good we are here at getting all this backed up together and hooked up here. You got to come in at a bit of an angle because of that front axle on that old car chassis sitting there. Let's see where we're at here. Too high with the hitch. So let me come down. We'll crank up the front of that drawbar a little bit and get it hooked up. Yeah. Yeah. Come up just a bit. That goes down in there. There we go. That should be sufficient. Something about right there.
Oh, yes, it's a perfect hole. Oh, yes.
Perfect fit. Okay. We'll jack this thing up off the ground. Pull that pin. Rotate this around. Something kind of like that, and we're good to roll. Yeah. Now, before I get started, we're going to grease every one of those openers, little grease nipples that you can see right there. We're going to grease all of those all the way across. Plus, we're going to unhook these covering chains and drop them down on the ground to get them ready to go. Yeah, because there's two sets of them. And we'll take a quick look inside of here. It's not looking too terrible bad. We probably had to get some evapor rust or something on that galvanized steel, give it a coat of paint, and help protect it from the rust that is in there. And there is the trip rope here in this front little small seeder for alfalfa seed. And we need to get this out. And it has the hook on the end of it there to hook into here, which is the trip mechanism. Yeah. Where it's a grass seed, I think I'll put it up here in this front deal. I don't have any drop tubes on this thing, but with the breeze that's blowing, dropping out of there and getting covered up by those chains, that'll probably just do the trick just fine. If it doesn't, I'll always say coulda, woulda, shoulda. So yeah, let's fill this thing up and get it going. Alrighty, that is the front little seeder filled up, ready to go. We will give it a whirl and see what it does. Those covering chains are down on the ground, ready to go. What they do is they track along out behind the drill. There's 3 of them on there. And then when they drag along on the ground, they cover up the seed that doesn't need to be buried very deeply. Alrighty, we're off like a herd of turtles. We got a pretty good crosswind blowing right at the minute. It's about a 30-mile-an-hour cross breeze. And we drop everything out of that small seeder on the front of the drill. So I don't know exactly how well this is going to work. We're going to probably end up having to reseed this field again with fresh seed. Bad toad on myself. This seed that I've put in the drill has been sitting in my living room since last December, I think it was. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I bought.
Somebody sent you a message on your
telephone. That's Old Red Tractors. If you ever get a chance to, check out his YouTube channel. Yeah, he's always fixing something. It's a wonder he even talks to me anymore. Seeing how I bought this blue tractor, but yeah, he's a pretty good egg. Okay, we got that about where we want to start, I think. Put this thing out of gear, set the brake, open up that back window, retrieve my trip rope. Okay. Yeah, we'll put it in second range and start rolling and pull. There we go. And yep, I got grass dropping out of those. Well, you can't hardly see it. There's a brown shaft running across there. So, yep, we got grass seed dropping out. It's heading that way. So, yeah, we'll pick up the pace here a little bit and get this done. Alrighty, what I'm looking for here are these little dimples in the grass seed. And then, yeah, there's dimples underneath every one of these seed drop gears. Yeah, a little set of gears in there that lets the seeds drop out back here. And yeah, they're supposed to have drop tubes on them, but they're all missing. That one there on the far end has what looks like a finger hanging down. That's all that's left of a drop tube. A drop tube on these old planters is nothing more than a bunch of real thin tin that's spiral wound so it's flexible. Yeah, most new planters use a piece of rubber hose. That one will have to be replaced eventually or repaired. I won't bore you with all the details, but yeah, it's dropping a ton of grass seed out there, so we should have a pretty good stand, I hope. You know something? Families have got to start getting back together for more than just funerals. Yep, Sunday dinners. Sounds like a good idea to me. Say, did you know Walmart is the only place on earth where you can get a haircut, an eye exam, ice cream sandwich, tires for your car, and witness a real-life show of what not to wear to town? Well, I just stopped and checked the level of the seed in that little hopper thing up there. It's all still feeding through pretty good. So yeah, we should be doing okay with it. I got plenty left in there for another 5-6 rounds maybe. So yeah, we'll just keep on going and get this done tonight. You want to know how crazy the weather is here in Idaho? It's just like the Powerball numbers. 56, 43, 7, 2, 60, 80, yeah, all over the place. Oh, and don't forget the Powerball itself, 0. Okay, we'll get back here to the end of the row, and I'll pull the rope. There we go, something kind of like that. Well, it looks like there's some green buds coming on the lilac tree here, so this thing will be blooming before too long and be looking real pretty and all leafed out. So yeah, we'll probably get some water to it here before too long. But that's going to wrap it up for today from Nelson Creek Farms. Got everything done today that we were looking at doing. So thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching, and don't forget to tell all your friends and share this with everybody. And as always, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know what you think of the content in the columns below there in the comment section. And yeah, y'all be careful out there. We'll catch up with you later. I'm Farmer Dave, wishing you well. Bye-bye.